Hello, fellow trumpet players, and also other people who watch my channel who don't play the trumpet, though they probably should. Today we are doing a different type of video than usual. We're doing a Q&A video, a question and answer video, and also there's going to be a giveaway, which I'm going to announce at the very end of this video. So if you want to find out how you can enter that, then just wait till then. Now on to the questions. Question number 1 from Mr. Cowface5. Where do you live and do you offer trumpet lessons? So I actually live in Colorado, which everybody who lives in the United States obviously knows where that is. If you live outside the United States, it's one of the states in the very, well, Midwest of the United States. And do I offer trumpet lessons? I do not actually. I could, but I'm actually a full-time student right now in college, so I don't really have time, honestly, to do things like that. It would be cool, but definitely, yeah, don't have the time right now since I'm in classes all the time. I just honestly barely have time to record videos for this channel as it is. Alright, question number 2 from Jordan Rosen says, what made you decide to do the trumpet? Honestly, I don't know exactly how to answer that question. I know when I started in 4th grade, which is probably when most of you guys started as well, I just always wanted to play the trumpet. I've never really wanted to play anything else. I'm not really sure why, I just think the trumpet always seemed like the coolest instrument to me, and it still does, to be honest. Yeah, I can't think of a specific reason. I mean, since I've started, there's definitely more reasons why I'd want to now, like super cool trumpet players who I look up to and everything, like Wayne Bergeron, for instance. I met him, by the way. The picture is right here. Yeah, I met him. Super cool dude. Also, his trumpet playing is absolutely insane. Alright, next question. From Jurgen, I assume that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. Why is the sheet music not free? I'm from the Netherlands, I'm a big fan of your trumpet covers. Thank you. The reason the sheet music's not free anymore, I actually get this question a lot in the comment section, and the reason is that I found out it actually was illegal, what I was doing, offering it for free. I didn't realize this at the time, but it was kind of made apparent to me that offering the sheet music for free is actually considered pirating. It's like taking a movie, you know, and offering it for free online, but basically because that song is a property of the person who wrote it. So by offering it for a price, basically whoever wrote the song gets a cut of that, and that way it's legal. I actually get a very small percentage of what the sheet music costs, but unfortunately it can't be free. It's just really the only way that I can get it to you at all, and I'd rather you guys be able to get it in some way than not at all. My next question from Griffin Cardwell says, how long have you been playing? Do you have any tips on hitting those high notes? By the way, I love your channel. Thank you again. How long have I been playing? Let's see. I've been playing since 4th grade, and I am now 20 years old. So, let me see. When I was in 4th grade, I was probably like, like 11 or 12, something like that. So I've probably been playing about 9 years, probably almost 10 years now, yeah, a long time. Do I have any tips on hitting the high notes? To be honest, I don't have the best range ever. I know there's definitely other trumpet players on YouTube who have a much better range than me, although I did play lead trumpet for a jazz band in high school. I'd say some tips on hitting the high notes, just like work on doing range builders, basically every single day. I recommend the Adams routine, which you can find online if you look up. Basically, they're routines where you just work up very slowly, you know, playing high, like trying to work up to one new note, you know, every, I don't know, maybe month or so. It's kind of a slow process, but if you keep going and you do it every single day and you're like good on your schedule, then your range will grow. You just kind of have to be patient. Alright, next question from Ari, I think that's Ari Artega. Do you have any other jobs than YouTube? Yes, I definitely do. So YouTube, definitely, this is more just like a hobby, a thing I do for fun. I'm actually a full-time student right now in college. I'm a biology major, so that takes up most of my time. I also have just other part-time jobs, just, you know, to pay my rent and food, because that's necessary. YouTube doesn't really do that for me. I wish it could be a full-time job, but it's definitely not currently. Okay, from KP Music, where are you from? Yeah, as I just said, I'm from Colorado. I'm actually from Colorado Springs, Colorado, which I don't know if anybody knows that, but if you've heard of Pikes Peak, it's actually right underneath that mountain. It's on the foothills of the mountain, so really a great place to do lots of outdoor activities. You know, like skiing and mountain biking, all that kind of thing. It's also right next to the Air Force Academy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the Air Force Falconers band, but their trumpets are screaming as well. Like, super fun to listen to. If you want to hear some cool trumpets, look them up on YouTube. They're pretty awesome. Alright, 2 questions for this next one. Little Asian boy had 2 questions for me. Okay, number 1, how long had you played trumpet? That's basically like the question I answered before, so yeah, as I said, probably about 9 or 10 years, yeah. However, like, to change that up, I played trumpet for, like, basically all the way through high school, like, you know, every single day, you know, because you play in class and then practice outside, private lessons, so, like, probably at least an hour or 2 a day. Now I definitely don't play as much as I used to, since I just don't have the time. Now I usually only play about once a week when I'm recording videos. How long do you practice for one vid? Honestly, not very much. I usually sight read most pieces. They're pretty simple. If I can't get it, obviously sight reading, then I'll practice for a little while, but I usually just practice right before I record the video. And it usually takes me, I don't know, so I'd say about half an hour practice for each song max, generally. Alright, this one's a long one, let's see. From the Ashes cosplay. Says, do you use a program that converts songs into sheet music for you? I can figure out chorus pretty easily, but a full-length song would take me forever, never mind a song a week. Thanks and great playing. Well, I actually don't use a program that converts into sheet music, although there are some ways to do that where you can, but you have to convert your actual playing music. You have to play the song, and then you have to convert that into a MIDI file, and then the MIDI file into sheet music, which is actually pretty hard to do. It takes quite a while. I think that's how Carter Miller, I don't know if you guys have heard of his trumpet channel, how he actually does his sheet music, but I actually generally write mine before I play the song. Generally a lot of it is just from, you know, just hearing the notes, but it can also help. What I do generally is just watch like piano videos and piano tutorials, because they kind of give you a gist of how the song goes, and definitely the chorus. After you start that, most songs are just pretty, like, generally simple. They just kind of repeat, you know, so you always have verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, bridge, chorus. So once you figure out the chorus, you've already got basically half the song. Yeah, so that's how I do it. Lils and Grills says, if you could do a different instrument, what would it be? Let me see. If it was part of the band, like a normal band, I'd say I'd probably play saxophone. Yeah, I think saxophone sounds pretty darn sweet, especially tenor saxophone, so that would probably be it. Or if it was like jazz band, I'd probably go with stand-up bass or electric bass, just because that stuff is freaking sweet. Yeah, that's probably what I'd say. However, like, trumpet's fine. I don't need to play another instrument because trumpet is dope. Okay. Okay, from NXZTT says, what mouthpiece do you recommend for playing high notes? I've used the 7C ever since I started playing, and it works just fine, but I'm curious if there's anything that'll really get you into the upper register and perhaps make the definition between notes easier. Wishful thinking. Yeah, I think a lot of people think this when they're starting to learn high notes. They kind of want the mouthpiece to make it easier, and that's just really not how it works, you know? Definitely a mouthpiece can help you get up there, but really mostly it's in the lips and just working to make sure that you have the ability to play the high notes. I think a 7C is probably a pretty good mouthpiece to start on for high notes. After that, it just depends. I would recommend just going to a music store, basically, and asking the people there what they recommend, and then playing on those and seeing if it makes a difference before you buy it, you know? What I use for my lead playing is actually Monet, which is pretty expensive, so I might not recommend it necessarily for everybody. It's more of a custom mouthpiece, and I think it works super well for me, but it just depends, you know? It's definitely, lead mouthpiece is something you want to play on before you buy it, so that you know if it's actually going to help you or not. Alright, from Agent C14 says, how long does it take to record a full song without cutting? So generally, if I include like practice time, which is generally not much, but right before I play, I'd say that it takes me generally from like an hour to 2 hours to record a full song. And then that usually includes the video part as well. Yeah, so not horribly long. I usually do it, yeah, generally once a week. I just come into the practice rooms at the school, that's what this place is, and then I record the video. Alright, from Simulator Freak 98 says, when did you start playing? Same question. So yeah, in 4th grade. Honestly, probably like most of you in the US, what we did is in 4th grade, they just like pull us out of class one day for band, and then you try a bunch of instruments. The band director is like, yeah, you're pretty good at these ones, what do you want to play? And I was like, trumpet. So I started playing trumpet in 4th grade. It was a long time ago, but I remember it distinctly actually. Okay, Francesco Piptone says, I'd like to get a new trumpet. Right now I have a Yamaha from the beginning series. What do you recommend to buy? How would you decide what to buy? I'd like to get a good one. Okay, so what I would recommend, actually, this is kind of like the Mouthpiece thing before. I would recommend actually going to a music store and just playing a bunch of trumpets. Like, ask them for their advice and see what you like the most. What sounds different, you know? I actually play a Bach Stradivarius, which I love. Like, I really love this trumpet. Basically, this is like an intermediate trumpet, but it works through advanced. So after I was done with my beginner trumpet, which was actually a Yamaha as well, I wanted to get a trumpet that basically I would never have to replace unless I went professional, which I didn't and don't really plan to. So yeah, it works great, but it's also a pretty expensive trumpet if you buy new, but I bought it used actually off Craigslist. If you guys probably know what that is. So I would actually recommend that. Used instruments there's really no problem with them as long as you play them first, make sure they're not like destroyed and dents. I would definitely recommend that if you want to buy maybe a more expensive trumpet, because used instruments are like way more discounted than new ones obviously, and they still play just as good. Alright, Sander123 says, what would you recommend tips for a cornet player trying to get better at high notes? Say a high F. Okay, well, I would say cornet. I don't play cornet, but it's essentially the same thing as a trumpet, it's just a squash trumpet. So I would say generally the same as what I said before. Just work on your range builders, like the Adams routine every single day, like an hour every single day, and you'll grow, you know? You just gotta stick with it, be patient. I think a lot of people get impatient because, you know, after week 1, like, why don't I have a double high F already? Like, well, it just takes time, you know, your lips have to adjust, but if you keep going at it, you'll definitely get it. I mean, a high F is pretty high, but I'd say it's definitely within the range of most people for sure. Alright, Clorox Bleach, good, says, do you play anything other than trumpet? So I actually play guitar as well, although definitely not as well as trumpet. I'm still a beginner guitar, I'm trying to learn, but that's the other instrument that I play. Other than that, I don't really play anything else. I would love to learn how to play piano. I think it'd be super cool to learn just for composing and stuff, but as of now, just trumpet and kind of guitar. That's all. Alright, well I guess that was the last question. So hopefully this has been useful to you guys. I know that I have never actually done a video like this, a Q&A or anything, so hopefully I answered all of your questions. Also, on to the giveaway, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to be giving away a toner microphone, which is actually, it comes with the whole kit. I actually made a video using this microphone a couple years ago so you can hear what it sounds like. The kit looks like this right here, and so I posted a picture over on my Instagram, which is @trumpet_guy right here. And basically what you have to do, all you have to do to enter the giveaway is just like the picture, follow my Instagram, and then leave a comment in the description. And then in probably, let me see, like a week or so, I'll be picking a winner. And honestly, like, I don't have very many followers right now on Instagram, so you probably have a pretty high chance of winning if you go and do all those things. And I think it's a pretty good microphone for beginners. It has everything in the kit that you would need to start recording. You don't even need an input because it has USB. You can just plug into your computer and start recording. So I think it should be super helpful to you guys, hopefully. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of video and maybe want to see different videos like this in the future, maybe with me just talking to you guys or explaining different things, then leave a like rating down below. It'll show me that you enjoy this kind of video. Also, I have this new shirt out, which I think is pretty cool. And it's available in the description down below if you want to go check it out. Also, I'm going to be coming out with a new shirt super soon, which is super awesome. I'm actually super excited for it. yeah, I actually like it, like the most out of anything that I've made. So get ready for that. That'll probably be next week or the week after, we'll see. So I'll see you guys all next week.